Okay, you guys, I just wanted to quickly come on here and just give a little bit of my opinion, not fact, my opinion, based off a video from, oh, what is her name? She reminds me of, I have no idea, but can you all tell me whether or not Brett Cooper is Ben Shapiro's niece or something, or daughter? I don't know. It seems that way because they seem so so similar in nature. But it's one of Brett Cooper's videos. Actually, the title of her name, like on the video, is "The Comment Section with Brett Cooper." And I'll post a link to her video in the comment section, not in the comment section, the description, where I always post links. And the title of the video is "Man Dates a Woman That Looks Like a Child." And I'm almost done with the video. I'm about, let's see, one, two, three, four. I'm about three fourths, 75% done with the video. I don't think there's much more that she's going to go into, but I just wanted to give you a little gist of what it's about. It's about an article. Well, not exactly even an article, but there was a video about I guess a woman. It was a woman that when she was younger, as a baby, she had a type of cancer, and in order to heal her, whatever process or however they were able to heal her, her pituitary gland, I guess, malfunctioned or something, and she was never able to grow to her full extent of what she should physically look like as an adult human female. So she looks like a child perpetually, a perpetual little girl. And she has a show on some network. If you watch her breast video, you'll see it. In any case, it delves into that a little bit, and then it goes on to, like, she's in the middle of her dating life and she wants to date people. And if you start to think about this, you start to understand why the title is as it is. And a lot of people, it's getting a lot of pushback. Her in a relationship with this, looks like good looking guy, attractive, adult, human male. Uh, you know, what am I trying to say here? Okay, so she's in a relationship with this guy who basically, if she stood next to him, looks like a man on standing next to his child. So you can see where this is kind of, not where it's going, but how it kind of looks. Okay, yes. On one hand, she is a full-grown adult woman, but on the other hand, that's not what people are going to see when she walks down the street. So, more, not morally, don't know why I say twice, but when you look at this, like, there's no real problem here if you have an adult, two consenting adults doing what they do. The problem is the visuals, and not necessarily just the visuals. The problem is the popularization, that's a word, of the visuals. That is the main problem. If this was just some woman somewhere in the world and she met a guy who was her same age but same situation, and nobody ever knew about him, there would be no problem. Of course, even the locals will probably, oh, I've known them for years, and yeah, we all know, and it's fine, they're both adults. But the problem is how this is being picked up by the media and expanded upon. Like, even the let me go back. I just want to go to that part in the video that says, where she brought up, yeah, it's an article. Let me kind of mute this. I want to get to this place. An article from the New York Post. So the article says, I'm dating a 23-year-old woman who looks like an 8-year-old girl. I'm not a creep. And if you look at that, then you understand what I'm talking about. There's nothing inherently wrong about it. Both consenting adults, both above the age, but the popularization and the title of this, how it's she's already in the public's eye because of just how she looks and her situation. But then you have this man who comes into it, and it's causing a stir. It's causing a social stir. And as I said before, in my opinion, there is nothing inherently wrong here, both consenting adults. But the visuals and the popularization of the visuals, like say they go off and live somewhere, and they don't give a lot of information out about where they are, what they're doing, blah blah blah. I think that would be for the best, in my opinion. I don't think it's a good idea to glamorize this as normal. I only say that because of the visuals. This should not be something that is pushed in the media to such an extent that it's normalized. The look of it. Not the fact that they're both consenting adults, but the obvious look. The obvious thing that you're going to see when you look at these people. This should not be something that is that what's happening now. This is what's happening to it. It's reached the stage where people are using it as a topic in a YouTube video. That's the problem with it. It's being popularized, and the visuals, they're not good. You know, it's not something that rests easy with people. They have children the same size as her. So it it's not something that should be promoted. The look of it, the scale of it. It is not something that should be promoted by the media. What I don't want to happen, and this is all in my opinion, what I don't want to happen is for them to say, oh, and use this. I don't want them to use this as an example. The same way, because certain groups are just waiting for certain things in the media to grab the public's eye and be so on the border of 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 what they want to bring and make appropriate that they use it as an example to promote their filth and their degradation, like the maps. You don't think that the maps will just creep up on this and grab it and say, hey, see, you accept this, don't you? Why not accept the minor attracted people? Why not accept us? We want the same thing, uh, which is a lie. You know, these people are two consenting adults. It's not a man and an 8-year-old. It's a man and a 23-year-old woman. But you know they'd be doing things like that to popularize and gain acceptance of their of their disgusting way of life. And this is kind of on par with a lot of the gender ideology, the trans stuff, and how they use certain examples like intersex people. Doesn't have a dang thing to do with anything about them, but they like to use it because, I don't know, they think it makes sense to say that there's someone who has this, so you must accept me because I do this to myself, and that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with them. The problem is all in how it's being promoted and how it's being pushed to the forefront of society, of the public eye. I just don't want really crazy people to get hold of this and start using it as an excuse for the public to be accepting to pedos and minor attracted people. That's my main concern. Feel free to tell me yours in the comment section. Any opinions about this topic? Feel free. All right. Thank you guys. That's it. LOL. So at the end of the video, Brett comes back and says there was an update. They broke up, so I guess I have to do an update too. So my update isn't really an update at all. It's unfortunate, but like I said, in my opinion, they should have just took that out of the public's eye, and just, if you have a relationship with anybody, don't make it public if it's something that the optics are going to be such as they were. If the optics are such as they were, and you know how the public are going to react to that, why make it public in the first place? Please keep it to yourself. Sometimes not all things should be public. Not all things should be, some things should be private. Some things should be private between two consenting adults, because the optics are just not good, and people are not going to react well to them. And other people who are messed up in the mind are going to use that as fuel for their messed up fire, and try to, like I said in part one of my video, are going to try to use it so that they can encourage the public to be receptive to the maps, which was my whole point. That's it. Okay, you guys, this is a part 3. This should be the last part in regards to the video I made earlier about the couple who, one looks like a regular sized guy and the other looks like the 23-year-old woman in the body of an 8-year-old, and apparently they're broken up. But I just wanted to add a little something, because I was watching another YouTube video. I'm not gonna add it to the description because it's just going over the same topic, but they kind of made me think, and nothing they discussed really went into what I'm about to say, but I just thought, maybe there's, like they're saying, maybe there's something we're not saying. So I was thinking, not that this is any way, shape, or form comparable to the Balenciaga, the whole thing with the whole scandal with Balenciaga and the kids and the bondage and everything, but it's given me the same vibe. And the vibe is this, that this was not for them. This was not for them to be exposed. This was more to, because I don't really think they had control over what the ad said, or the news or the media said about them. They don't really have any control over that, in my opinion, at all. In my opinion, this was more about less about exposing them and more about exposing the minds and the consciousness, and what the masses thought about the situation, about the title, about the optics, what we thought about it. The same way that Balenciaga jarred people and made people react. It's comparable in the fact that it touches around like children in the media and child abuse topics and things like that. Not that she's abused at all. No, she's a healthy 23-year-old woman who just happens to be locked in the body of an 8-year-old or 10, depending on, how old you think she looks. In any case, it makes me really think that this is basically like just the media testing the waters. They're testing the waters to see what the public think about this. Like Balenciaga, what do you think about this baby with all this gimp and this bear and bondage and all these suspicious documents lying around? What do you think about this, public? Do you accept this? Do you reject this? What do you think about it? What do you think about this relationship between this woman who's 23, but she physically appears to be a child, who is standing next to this guy who she is less than half his size? What do you think about this, public? Are you accepting of this? Do you reject this? That's who it's for. It's not for them. It's for us. The media and whoever's behind them wants to test the waters and see what we think. I think the whole purpose of all of this, each tiny little piece that seems to be separate from the next, is just an attempt to test the waters and see how close the public is to accepting minor attracted persons, people who want to harm children in this way. The media, on some level, has a narrative and they are pushing it, and they want to see where the public is with their acceptance of this topic. And the public does not accept this. I don't think the public will ever accept this, because the public has children. The public cares about their children. The public would die for their children, the majority of us. And the public is not going to accept this. Many different colors and ages, not ages, many different colors and religious backgrounds and political affiliations of the public are not going to accept this. And that's how it's going to be. I am not exactly sure to what extent, and yeah, to what extent the media will be pushing this narrative. I do not know how bad it's going to get, but it seems to be increasing rapidly. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the people that identify as toddlers or things like that. I think I did a video, I'm not sure. But in any case, I believe that was a part of it. But expect more of this. I think it's going to be a reoccurring factor in mainstream media. But anyway, that's what I think is happening here. That's it.